I thought we could walk through briefly a checklist that might be helpful in terms of thinking through all those different criteria we just discussed. So, and this is something that I think we'll be sharing with you coming out of today's presentation, so you have it as a kind of a cheat sheet. But journal metrics, right? So we've talked about the importance of impact factor, visibility. How does it how does it appear as indexed in some of these tools like Web of Science and PubMed? And then the journal type, that's important. How often does it come out? The frequency. Some journals are very quick, and there's that one we just saw that was every 2 weeks. There's some that publish much slower, I mean, on a quarterly basis. So being aware of that is important, and the time it takes to be to get through the review process and be accepted. That's another key factor. Their acceptance rate, their peer review process, all of these are things you want to explore in preparing to make a submission. As we said before, costs are really important depending on where you are and what you're working through. And then the formatting, right? Will there be major formatting work required to submit to a particular journal? Um, and ideally, you identify your journal very early and before you really get too far in writing your manuscript, and you kind of write to the format. But let's say you haven't, and you have a manuscript, you should consider, do I really need to rewrite the whole thing to make it work? And the formatting and style of the article. So I think this is something also to be considered, and you should know what you're targeting. So as we mentioned before, where does all this information live? It's their journal website. Most quality journals will list all of these things, whether it's the aim of the journal in terms of identifying if it's the right place, but also its editorial board. You can take a look at that, who these people are, what their interests are. Instructions for authors is key. Really should really make spend a lot of time there in evaluating things like formatting, but also the types of work they published, if there's limits to the length of the articles. Um, Style preferences, this is something really important, especially if English isn't your first language, making sure you're aware of that.